Joining us now here on In the Circle on D1 Softball, powered by 643, as we continue some Big 12 talk. She was a unanimous Big 12 first team All Selection a year ago, all region performer, hit 16 home runs, one of the best hitters in the Big 12. I speak of Amanda Hasler joining us here on In the Circle on D1 Softball. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Eric?
Doing very good. When you reflect on last season individually, because I would argue it's your best year to date that you've had, and the conference awarded you with a unanimous first team. What comes to your mind?
Honestly, I feel like there's always work to be done. I think, I can always top what I did last year. And, I honestly wouldn't be able to have that season without my teammates and my coaches. Like, they really pushed me to be the best that I could. And they, they were just always by my side during the season.
So that's right. What did you work on this offseason that you felt you needed to work on to be better this year?
Definitely some pitch selection. Those rise balls can get me sometimes. They look pretty good sometimes. And, just working on, seeing my pitch and, the pitcher has to pitch to me. And, a lot of the outs that I made last year were done by myself and I beat myself most of the time. So working on having better pitch selection was a big focus this offseason.
What makes you in Oklahoma State seem like it was a perfect fit? Sometimes it takes a while to adjust and adapt and to surroundings, but you seem to fit like from day one since you've gotten there. What is it that it's made you such a perfect fit there in Stillwater?
I mean, it's a family. Coach G and the rest of the staff welcomed me and the other transfers just like we were there from day one. And the girls were welcoming as well. And I don't know, it was just everyone clicked from day one. And I don't know, there's nothing we really did differently to click as a team. We kind of just, it came naturally.
Do you remember where you were when you found out you were going to be all Big 12 unanimous first team?
Honestly, I don't. I re yeah, I don't remember. I feel like a lot of last season
It's
was a
all
blur just
blur.
because there were so many great moments.
My guess is, I'm just speculating, maybe this will help your memory. Either Coach told you or Serge, your fine SID, told you. It had to be, or maybe it was your parents. I don't know. But what somebody had to clue you in on this, I
I
feel
think
like.
it might have been Coach G. I I think we might have been in a hotel at an away
Yeah.
series or something, and I think he called me up and he was like, "Hey, like you were unanimous Big 12," and like I couldn't believe it because I've never really been recognized for anything like that. So here, and it's always been a big dream of mine to get these accolades, and it was just really cool seeing that come to fruition.
Now you come into this season. What do you hope you and the team take from last year? I know it didn't end the way you would have liked. There were things that you didn't accomplish as a team that you would have liked. What's it been like this fall and in now into as we're approaching the season?
Well, I think our team is very young, but that also means that they're very hungry to get on the field and to, play bigger names and older girls. And, I think after last season, a lot of our older girls are also hungry to get back on the field and just to show what we're truly made out of. And I think it's been shown in practice. Like we have a lot of tenacity out there and, we're just very competitive.
Who are the leaders on the team right now?
I mean, it's hard to say. There's a lot of names I could throw out there, but like I'd say all of our older girls, like all the seniors and even the juniors. And honestly, some of the freshmen have been good at, leading their own positions and all that. So honestly, it's hard for me to just throw out names because Coach G has taught us that anyone can be a leader. And, if your teammate isn't up to the standard, then you can hold them to that no matter how old you are or no matter what position you are.
How would you describe your style of play?
Um, I like to say I'm competitive, but I'm also uh more quiet, I guess. Um, I like to stay even keel and stay calm and, be collective. I'd say I'm a bit opposite of Ruby. She's very out there. And I just I think we mesh well together as a battery because she complements my calmness and I complement her excitedness, I guess.
Very, her intensity too. She's got a lot of
Mhm.
intensity there when she's in the circle. You've got a knack for the podcast because I was about to ask you about Ruby and that bond and connection. How long did it take you two to click, and what's it like catching her?
It's kind of funny because we came on our official visits the same weekend and we barely talked on our visit and it like she always tells me she was like I thought you didn't like me for the first couple weeks. I was like, "No, I'm just shy." And so once we actually committed together, it was like we just got along so well because she told me, she's like, I actually thought you didn't like me. And I had to tell her, like, no, I was just you're you're Ruby and like I was kind of nervous to get to know you, but once we started practicing and we also lived together last year, we just we became real tight and she's one of my best friends now and I feel like I can come to her with anything.
That's good how you bonded. But that's a funny story.
Mhm.
Sometimes I learned a lesson there. Something it's not. It's okay to talk a little bit on your visit sometimes to your
Yeah.
a future teammate potentially there on that. What's it like? How do you learn this pitching staff? Because it's not just Ruby. There's other arms that you have to learn. Take me through that process of learning each pitcher and what they know and what they throw, because that's a big part of your job.
Yeah, well, I think it definitely starts off the field, and I was lucky enough to get to live with Ruby and Riley last year. So I got to get to know them off the field, and also Madison Hoffman was always at our house all the time. So I got to get to know them and how they like to receive information and feedback and stuff like that. And then also just getting in the bullpen and getting to catch them and seeing what makes them tick and you know catching their pitches will always become like second nature, but I think the most important part of my job is knowing how to get stuff to them because I don't want them to break down when it comes to the game. And so just learning their personalities was very important to me.
How would you describe your defensive style of catching there? You were recently picked among the best catchers according to D1 softball in the sport. You're a top 100 player, but just talk about that evolution because your offensive number speaks for itself, but you're also valuable on the defensive side.
I'd say my defense, again, is very quiet. Like, I want the focus to be on the pitcher, and, my main job is to make them look as good as they can. And so just doing everything in my power to make my pitchers look good and then also make the plays that I need to be made. So that's making the picks at home with plays at the plate or anything like that. And so I'd say it's uh quiet.
That's quite low key. Sometimes, just kind of under the radar, man. Boom, you just got a surprise them there, right? That's usually how that works. On there, who's been a player, either a returner or a newcomer, that has impressed you? That's been like, whoa, this player is in to really blow up and really have a big year.
I think a lot of people will be surprised by Aubrey Jones. I mean, she plays on the field like she's been here forever. And just some of the plays she makes, it leaves me with my jaw. I have to close my jaw because some of the plays she makes are just so insane. And you know, she's great at the plate too, and I think she's just going to surprise a lot of people this season.
That's always pretty nice. There, what's it like playing for Coach G?
It's freaking awesome. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. Like from the first day I met him, he's like a second father to me. He reminds me of one of my travel ball coaches who I'm very close with. And, Coach G isn't afraid to tell it to you straight, which I really appreciate. And, but then off the field, he's like your number one fan and he loves you. Like he's like your second father. His house is always open. And so it's just great getting coached by him because, I mean, he's not going to beat around the bush. He's straight on.
Did you hit it off with him from when you first met him, or did it take some time?
I feel like I take some time.
Okay.
As I said earlier, I'm a bit shy, so
He,
but I
he's not.
remember
Spoiler, he's not.
no, he's not. But there was this one conversation we had in season that I think really opened us up and like made me more comfortable. And like I think it changed a lot of things from then on. And I think we gained a lot of trust for each other after that.
I would imagine that's pretty good. Was there a moment last year where you're like, "Ooh, I fit right in here. I click. This is clicking for me." Like just as overall, was there a moment where you just felt like, "Yeah, I'm meant to be here."
I'd say in Clearwater last season, I was struggling a bit, and I took the time to go to my hitting coach, Coach Shippey, and I was like, "Hey, like I need help. Like things aren't going well right now." And she took the time out of I think we had a game break, and she took the time to hit with me and talk to me and make sure I was just mentally okay. And Coach G was there by my side the whole time too, and they were just supporting me that whole rough patch of my season. And ever since then, they kind of knew what cues I needed and what I needed to get myself back into check. So I think that point of the season, I really understood that I really fit in here.
And fit in, you've done that for sure.
Thank you.
What got you into softball growing up?
Well, my uncle played independent league up in Albany. Um, And I feel like baseball was always just a big part of our family. My brother played it. And so, I mean, my parents just they put me into softball when I was around 6 years old. And from then on, I always loved it. I mean, especially when I would get up to bat and all the coaches would be like, "Girls, back up." And I used to think that was a bad thing. And then my dad told me, "No, that's good." And ever since then, I love the sport.
Do you have a favorite player growing up?
It's gotta be either Aubrey Monroe or Savannah Jaquish. I mean, both awesome catchers and just awesome at the plate. And I looked up to them so much watching them on TV.
It's good choices there. Monroe comes up a lot when I ask people. Aubrey, what is it about her that just gathers this incredible following? Because you're not the first to have mentioned Aubrey Monroe's name.
Yeah, I feel like she was the leader of knee throwing from behind the plate, and I think she was the first person I saw do that, and it was like surprising to me to see that. And so that just opened up my eyes. And just the way that she would command the field and command her pitchers was just very inspiring.
You mentioned your parents got you into softball in a young age. What's it been like for them? I saw them. I met them actually at the Big 12 championships
Mhm.
last season. What are they like?
Well, they're so supportive. They're my number one fans, and they're my biggest motivators. My dad has been there every single step of this journey. Like he would go hit extra with me at the fields, like after practices, or he'd drive me 2 hours to travel ball practice and all that stuff. And, you know, he knows that, like, he always tells me I never played competitively, so I'm never going to tell you what you're doing wrong. But, like, if you ever need to talk to me, like, come to me. Like, you know that I'm always here for you. My mom, on the other hand, she's never played softball, but she's always the first one to tell me what's going wrong, which it's funny to me because sometimes she does keep me in check and opens up my eyes. But no, they're both really awesome, and I love them so much.
Sounds to me like mom's just being mom, no matter what. Doesn't care. Like it sounds
Yep,
like my mom. I do broadcasting, and my mom doesn't care. It's like, why are you late? Like, well, the game went extra inning. I don't. They don't care. They just don't care. They're
exactly.
gonna give you a hard time. And I guess the dad's got to be the one that's like, hey, I'll be the good cop, maybe in this scenario, maybe a little.
Dad's just there for a good time. Moms are stressed out.
Is she the most stressed out watching you play, like during the game?
I'd say so. I've seen some video of her in the stands, and whenever I hit a home run, she's screaming at the top of her lungs. But if I strike out, oh my gosh, it's the end of her world.
The irony is, when I met her, she was pretty laid back, cooled down. I don't, so
Oh,
go figure.
you need to see her in game. It's funny.
Okay, gonna make a note of that there. But I mean, what's it been like sharing this unique journey that you've all been together there? I mean, it seems like they watch every game, they travel every game. That's gotta mean a lot to you, because there's highs and lows in this sport, as you know. This is a sport that fails more than it succeeds when you're at the plate, especially. To have that support, no matter what, probably has meant a lot to you in your success to this point.
It's meant the world. I mean, they ever since freshman year, they've traveled to almost every single game. Like no matter where it is, they're taking the plane ride there. And they're the first people I call if something goes wrong, and they're they're always picking up their phone no matter what time it is. And it's just I don't think I would have made it this far without them.
What's your goals outside of softball?
So right now I'm a major in food science,
I saw.
and I really enjoy baking. And so maybe one day I hope to go to culinary school and become a pastry chef.
Okay,
But yeah,
a chef. Ooh, that's kind of intriguing. So you're like you cook for yourself.
yes, I do.
What's your favorite thing you like to cook?
Ooh. See, I like a lot of food,
I
so
like this. Yeah.
that's a tough question.
Yeah.
But if I had to answer, maybe shrimp tacos. They're fairly
Whoa.
easy and they're
Okay.
pretty yummy.
Have you cooked for your team yet?
Yeah, we had a Thanksgiving party with them, so I made them some mac and cheese. I made them some like a pumpkin dessert box that they could take home. And so I think they enjoyed it pretty well.
All right. So do you look for reviews? Do you seek out kind of feedback on that, or no?
I always do, yeah. And
Okay. Okay.
they're always eager to give me some reviews, but luckily nothing has come back negative.
That's the important thing there.
Hmm.
I'm assuming you've cooked for your parents.
Oh
Uh,
my gosh, every night.
every night. Oh wow. So we're already moved on. So they've just like, yeah, you're taking care of this from now on. Which of
I
the
worry about them when I'm not at home.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, could be a little dicey, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one gives you feedback the most of the two?
Probably my mom.
Does she teach
That
you?
she's taught me a few things, but it's mostly on my own. Like I'll find stuff online that look good and I'll just follow a recipe from there.
What got you interested in that region area?
I don't know. I guess I just started watching Food Network
Okay.
and it always seemed interesting to me, and like I think for my 10th birthday or something like that I got a KitchenAid mixer.
You got a what? Wait, say that again. When you were 10, you got a what?
KitchenAid mixer, yeah. Cuz I loved it so much.
Okay, so you get this. You're 10 years old. You said, how does this work? So tell me how. Like, would you ask for it? Were you shocked? Like,
I did ask for it and it was a mint green color,
okay.
and I still have it at my house, but yeah, I would just make a bunch of desserts because I would make desserts for the holidays and all that. So I was whipping out a whole bunch of like cookies, brownies, cakes, all that fun stuff.
And you've had it since you were 10.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Oh
Somewhere
man.
around that age.
All right, I'm gonna have to ask for a photo of that. I need a photo. I got to see that. That's pretty well. When I was 10, I mean, I was just excited to get I think I was excited just to get a bike or something. I think that's pretty impressive there. Do you watch some of the? There's like obviously the Food Network you reference is a clear place to go, but there's also like reality shows, like famous chefs doing shows. Do you watch a lot of those shows?
Well, one of my favorite shows is The Great British Baking Show,
Okay.
where they're under the tent and they have to make all these technical desserts. So that's one of my favorites. But other than that, I don't really watch a lot.
Fair. No, that's okay. I like this. So this is the direction here. My hopefully we see you 5, 10 years from now, like on a Food Network.
Oh, that'd
That's
be
that a
awesome.
goal? That a goal? Is there anybody you would like? Is there a chef that when you're going out to eat somewhere, do you give the chef some feedback or send
Oh,
it?
absolutely not.
No, you don't. You
No.
just because you feel like, hey, I wouldn't. That's not my place, or why not?
I just I'm not at that level yet. Like
Okay.
I still got to learn all the technical stuff, and I feel like if they're a chef, they know what they're doing. They don't need to hear what I think.
Okay, that's fair. But do you give yourself like, "Ooh, this is interesting. They added this," or "Boy, I would have done this." Do you analyze it where how you would have done it?
Of course I do. Yeah, I
Okay.
definitely like will review it for people like around me, like my family or like my friends. I'll give
Yes.
them like what I think, but I'm
Yes.
never gonna go to the chef myself.
Okay. No, no, no. That's fair. Perfectly understandable. But
Hmm.
I okay. So you're like, because like when I watch a sport broadcast, a lot of times I'll just be more focus on what the broadcasters are saying because I'm curious what they're saying because I do broadcasting and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Learn. So are you like that when you're eating something outside? You're like, that's interesting. I would have done it this direct. So you're like a self. You'll analyze it on the fly.
Yeah, definitely. I love trying new foods, and I actually had the honor of meeting Chef Jeff. He's a chef out in OKC
Okay.
for a Lao restaurant, which is my ethnicity. So it was really cool to meet a chef of the same background as me.
Okay.
And um, yeah, he gave me some great tips on just like flavor stuff
Sure.
and like knowing the different, I guess, tastes.
Yeah.
Uh, but like I sometimes use that to analyze the stuff that I'm eating, and I'm like, ooh, like I would have never thought that, but it gives me some like it makes my brain kind of flow.
Oh, I like that. That's good. Is there a place in Stillwater or Oklahoma City you recommend when I go up there later this year?
Um, for Stillwater, I would definitely recommend Roundhouse Bakery if you like baked goods. They have some good stuff in there. But then for regular food, this is a hole in the wall, but it's called Devoted. It's in the back of an Asian market, and they have like pho and different noodle soups and appetizers and stuff like that. So if you like some noodle soup, I would definitely recommend going there.
Ooh, okay. Okay, this is good. This is valuable deals there. What did you learn last year playing in the Big 12 that you'll apply this year? Playing in the league that it's tough and a lot of talent's coming back. What did you learn from it?
There's no days off, no games off at all. Um, Basically every game you got to give everything you got, and you can't take any of these games for granted because I mean every team in the Big 12 is intense, and we just got to bring your A game every single game no matter who it is.
What was it like walking into that OKC there for the Big 12 championship in that facility, in that stadium that I'm sure you've watched over the years, where the home of the World Series?
It was breathtaking. Like it made my stomach drop because I was just so excited. I got butterflies from being there, and it was surreal because I've been seeing that place on TV for so long, and to actually be able to play on that field was just unreal. And hopefully this year we'll be able to play there for the World Series. So, but yeah, it was just awesome.
What are some like? Are you one that has self goals for the season? Like 2 years ago, I had Lexi Kilfoyle here on, and the show. She said her goal was to win Big 12 Pitcher of the Year, and she accomplished that. So that was fun. Do you have self goals, or do you shy away from that?
I mean, I think I'll always have goals in the back of my mind, like, player of the year or anything like that, but I can't think too much of it or else it'll consume me. So I think setting little goals for myself, just like staying within my swing or staying within my plans for game to game, I guess, cues
Sure,
really helps me a lot to not think about the big stuff.
fair.
Because
No,
I
it's
think once I think about the small stuff, the big stuff will come naturally.
it's fair. Did you have a favorite city you visited last year in the Big 12, or a city you're looking forward to visiting in the Big 12 that stands out?
I've heard great things about BYU, and
Okay.
it's kind of unfortunate because we're not going there this year. Um, but I don't know. I guess I'd say I'm pretty excited to go to Salt Lake City. I've never been to
Okay.
Utah in my life, so I
Okay.
think that should be pretty exciting.
Fair. Fair. ball flies out. If you're curious, the ball flies
I've
out. So
heard.
the offensive side of you might like that. I don't know if the catcher side of you will like that, but you have
Yeah.
to let me know on that. My last question to you: when people bring up Oklahoma State 2026, what do you want people to say about you? What do you want the team? What do people expect from this team in 26?
I think people should expect intensity. I think our team is very, I guess, out there and exciting. And, we're not afraid to express ourselves, whether that be like me, quiet, or like Ruby, like big. Um, and I think a lot of our players will show their personalities out on the field. And, we're just going to bring everything that we got every game. And just, you should expect a lot of excitement this year.
It should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to watching you play again. That's Amanda Hasler joining us here in the Circle at D1 Softball, powered by 643. The Chef. I might just start calling you the Chef. Give you a nickname there. I might toss that idea out to like Rachel Becker to bring that up on the broadcast. We gotta
Oh,
we
that's
gotta
awesome.
we gotta start. But there you go. We approve. Okay. Well, let's pass it on. Pass it on the phone booth there and get that word out there. Hey, listen, it's been awesome to talk to you. Enjoy watching you play. Good luck this season. I'm sure we'll cross paths. Send my best to the family, and thanks for telling your story and talking to us here on In the Circle and D1 Softball.
Thank you very much, Eric.